Hello and welcome to Bourbon Forage Fishing. I'm Ryan, your host. Awesome commenter, a subscriber or channel watcher, left a comment alerting me that DRIZLY is closing its doors. It was announced, I think, January 16th-ish, and I believe they're finally shutting down production or operations here in March of 2024. Miata822. Thank you for the heads up on this. Very interesting research I'm doing. So DRIZLY was bought out by Uber over 3 years ago. And basically, during the pandemic, they were doing really well, of course, as everybody was with e-commerce and delivery businesses. As the economy has shifted back to normality, people aren't getting as much deliveries to their homes. E-commerce is down. And Uber DRIZLY is feeling the effects of this. This article talks about how DRIZLY, it sounds like it's not a really well-run company. There's lots of bureaucracy and red tape. It's just not a well-executed company organization. Uber spent like $1 billion on this thing. And amazingly, 3 years, they're just saying, we're done with it. Now, Uber is going to absorb alcohol into their regular grocery delivery system, as far as I can tell. So DRIZLY will just sort of be absorbed into Uber Eats. One might take this as a sign as to what's going on with alcohol sales. Some of the reports on the 2023 alcohol sales. U.S. spirit revenue grew only a modest 0.2% last year. So it's basically stagnant, right? 2023 was a year of stagnation. It outpaced beer and wine sales by 0.4% and 26%, respectively. If you look at some of the charts on what's selling really hot right now, tequila, vodka, and cocktails, right? Now, this makes sense because blended whiskey, American whiskey, mezcal, to me, that all means quiet, cozy meeting, or a small friend gathering at home, or cozy, relaxing chair in the living room, sipping a whiskey, right? Vodka, tequila, mezcal, cocktail, mixed ready drinks. What does that mean? That means party. People are coming out to party, right? Post-COVID, and they're getting rid of the boring old meditative whiskeys and looking for stuff that's fruitier, easily mixed with basically zero flavor, which vodka is. Tequila has a little bit of flavor, but is very easily mixed. As you may or may not know, on my channel, I've been talking about the whiskey boom bust cycle. I believe we're about to go through a downswing in whiskey production and whiskey sales, American whiskey. That being said, interestingly, overall whiskey sales in the U.S. went down 2.2%, okay, in 2023. But here's the kicker. And this is kind of interesting. Bourbons and other American whiskeys continued their strong performance, turning an increase of 3.8% in revenue, with an annual total of $5.3 billion. Now, that inflation, is that an increase in revenue, or is that an increase in dollars? Is that just inflation? As they stated, overall whiskey sales in all categories were down 2.2%. So American whiskey is holding up compared to, I think, Irish, Scotch, and Canadian, which took a shellacking last year. But it would be interesting. I don't know if 3.8% increase, is that how does that look relative to inflation? Because a 3.8% increase when you have 3.5% inflation is basically stagnant again, right? Something to keep in mind. The overall American whiskey grew 4%, and 2022 was a 4.5% growth. And this, I believe, is in total cases, so this is more in volume. This is more a more respectable number. So the growth is slowing down. Sales are up. However, secondary markets for a lot of allocated higher-end stuff are coming way down, like a solid 25%. And this happened over the course of, I'd say, 2 or 3 months. It happened very, very quickly. And I would say this was 4 to 6 months ago that this immediately just crash in the secondary market happened. And it was a collapse. It was very fast, very, very fast. I'm wondering if that collapse parallels a drop in overall whiskey and bourbon purchasing? And if it did, it wouldn't necessarily be reflected in these statistics here so much, because this would be right before the end of 2023, right? So you had maybe some falling whiskey purchases at the end of 2023, which compared to the whole year doesn't take the overall decrease in sales down. We will see. I think that their forecasts for the 4% growth that they're going to see, they think to see, the projections for 2024, I think they're going to be lower than that. I really do. I think they're going to be lower than that. And I think we're going to continue to see secondary prices come down. As I've reported on the channel, luxury investment whiskeys have come way down. And I think you're going to see a lot more, or a bit more product sitting on the shelves and for longer. I'm noticing this in my local grocery stores and local liquor stores. Stuff sitting there that used to just disappear very quickly. And it seems like the inventory is building up. DRIZLY, is this a sign of things to come? Is the whiskey market, are we starting the bust cycle? Kind of looks like it, maybe, or at least a slowdown. Of course, it's going to depend on what the economy is going to do as a whole. We, of course, had a lot of inflation lately. People don't have as much expendable income. Housing prices are going up. The cost of everything is going up. So the overall economy is going to have a huge play. But I think we're going to see whiskey and bourbon going down in the future. So leave your comments down below. What do you think? What do you think about this DRIZLY closure? And do you think that's going to... Is that an indicator that the whiskey bourbon market's kind of coming down? We're in a bust cycle. Let me know down below in the comment section. Please subscribe to the channel, Bourbon Forage Fishing. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.